Hi, my name's Regina Edwards, and this is my personal reflections. Have you ever had a silent treatment with yourself? Is that even possible? As looking out and looking in authors state, communication is so important that its presence or absence affects physical health. I have learned that it is through community that I am able to grow and heal, make mistakes, be forgiven, grow some more, and ultimately understand that God has a purpose for my life. In Genesis, God said, "It is not good for man to be alone. I will make a suitable helper for him." God knows that we're not meant to do this life alone, and it has been with others that I have learned how to heal and grow. My relationship with myself in this class has improved in understanding that I tend to be easier on myself than I am on others. This reflection has made me double-check my assumptions and judgments, offering more compassion and love, listening better, and being patient. Reflecting on past relationships, I have to agree with what Drs. Les and Leslie Perrault say when they say that having a real relationships requires the qualities of loyalty, forgiveness, honesty, and dedication with continued cultivation. This type of relationship I've also had to cultivate within myself. It has been a road of recovery to me to daily journal my acknowledgments and my feelings and self-reflections. I am learning to be more loyal to myself, forgive myself, be honest with my own feelings, and to be dedicated to how I want to make those changes. I've grown in this class with the material shared and the discussions with others. I like to ask questions because I want to know more about others. And if I'm to pursue helping others to see their bigger picture, I have to become more comfortable with asking questions that seem challenging. The change I want to make in interpersonal communications is to put aside my insecurities of how others perceive me. This is a work in progress to which I am watching God take hold and develop, which of course means through trials and testings. James 1:2-4 says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking in anything." My insight with God has been influenced by the book Understanding Who You Are by Dr. Crabb. He says that we have a strong suspicion that God is not worth trusting. While this line seemed harsh originally, it provoked in me to analyze. I believe that it's true. For so many years, I held this suspicion that God allowed things to happen that were devastating in my life. And while I'm wrestling with these words, I've learned that everything has happened for me to grow and become better. My relationship with God has been what Dr. Crabb states is a passionate disbelief in the goodness of God. It is slowly being replaced with a humble confidence in His flawless kindness. I'm learning regularly that when God says He will guide my path and keep me in the refuge of His wings, it's not just a false promise. I've actually watched Him do this with my job. Thankfully, God understands that in my human weakness, I will have to see Him do this repeatedly, and He continues to guide my path. The changes I'm making to grow in the area of trusting God is to work on what Dr. Crabb suggests is replacing humble confidence in God's flawless kindness. It is through lessons where I am learning to become more humble and patient and allowing God to do His work. And sometimes not being in control is really hard. My relationship with others is growing in this class and life through the lessons of mediated communication. I struggle in this area, and it's an area that I need to work on, because I find it cumbersome to be fully expressive through writing or texting or online social media. As the book Looking Out and Looking In states, we decide who we are based on how others react to us. I've struggled with this in the past, and to this day, I must watch my thoughts very carefully with the remarks or non-remarks from others to not determine who I am. One of my concerns with social media is that it becomes the detector of my self-esteem. Really, this opinion should only be from God, and I agree, but I had allowed social media to be the dictator of who I was based on what other people thought. My relationships so far have been influenced by understanding that one's life experiences influence their perspective. While I knew this, I didn't lovingly look at people before. At one point in the discussion with a classmate, I asked for understanding of her statement, a statement that originally hit me as strong and off base. When she explained her experience, I felt more compassion and empathy towards her original comment. As the authors Alder and Proctor state, our perception of the world around us is affected by who we are. and who we are is affected by the experiences that we have. The changes I want to make in order to grow in communication with others is to become more humble. As James said, humble yourself before the Lord and he will lift you up. I have seen God's glory in him lifting me up, but in my growth, I have also seen that I must be the one to do the hard work and remain humble first. As a person who needs community to be healthy and grow, communication requires that I remain humble with myself, with others, and most importantly, with God. Humility mixed with love and forgiveness allows me to continue to put others first. In a world that is self-serving, I am called to be a servant first, and it is through humility that I can be a servant like Christ did for others.